Most of the people that ask, they already know that I'm a 7-time felon. Yeah, I did 4 years in prison. I ruined my entire life, and I OD'd 3 times in 2 weeks. I was like, but then I found out about Jesus.
I was 2 months pregnant, and I went home. We were living at his mother's house at this point. And I couldn't find him anywhere. And I asked her, where is he? And she said, oh, he's in the bathroom. He's been in there for a while. And so I went, and it was locked. So we got the door unlocked, and he was slouched over on the floor.
I don't really know how it progressed to that point, but I remember that at that point that I would rather just be dead. I would try and find places to get high, hoping that no one would find me.
And all I could think about is, what happens now? I already thought he was dead. I didn't think that he was coming back. And, you know, what do I do with a 3-year-old and a newborn?
I seen a journal that she had. It was questions to God about what is she supposed to do when I die.
Stephen ended up getting arrested again. I was battling, should I bail him out? And I got a knock on the door, and it was our friend who we used to run with, and he looked very well. He's like, oh, I went to this rehab in Frederick, Maryland, and now I came back home, I started my own business, and I wanted to see if Stephen was home and wanted to offer him a job.
I thought he was talking about like maybe robbing something like that, because that's the kind of guy he was.
So he bailed Stephen out, and Stephen went to work for him. And it was definitely God, because that whole time, our friend would just tell Stephen, you know, all the blessings that God's done for him, how he's gotten him into recovery.
So to see him act like that made me ask him, like, you know, dude, what the heck happened to you? And he told me about this place.
He called Carlton, and Carlton got Stephen in there like the next day.
So I agreed to come just so everybody would leave me alone. But he didn't leave me alone. He wouldn't even let me go home to get clothes. I told him I have to go home to pack, and he said he's not falling for it.
I knew that, you know, I would miss him. I knew that it would be difficult, but it's what needed to be done.
After they prepared a steak dinner, every new resident gets a steak dinner on the first night, and they didn't ask anything of me the first day. This is it. This is where I started. This is where I stayed, exactly like that. They just said, go ahead and get a shower and get some rest. And then I laid on the bed, and, you know, I was staring at the sprinkler system, wondering how I had gotten here. I prayed, and I asked God, like, if he's really real, like, this is the only time that you get. This is your last chance. And about, like, 6 days later, all those nights of not sleeping and restless legs and everything, there was a mandatory trip to this thing called Credo, which was a Christian men's retreat. I accepted salvation at Credo about 6 days after being here at the mission. And it was during an exercise that had me face a bunch of issues that I never dealt with.
I knew that he had to go. In going, though, that also meant that I could no longer afford the apartment. 1 kid, 1 on the way.
So I just threw it out there that, like, hey, maybe you can come to the Faith House and they can help you, like, they can help us, like, relocate and get some roots.
Faith House is a house for women and children, single women or women that have children. When my daughter was 4 weeks old, we moved into the Faith House. And so it was myself and a 3-year-old and a 4-week-old in a new town that I didn't know. This is the room. I remember this. I love this.
One of the things I like about Faith House here in our emergency shelter is it is more of a home-like environment. Everyone rallies around each other and becomes kind of like a family.
I definitely felt the family atmosphere. All the staff and the volunteers just love unconditionally. They allowed me to find a job, do resumes, do mock interviews, parenting classes, and essentially everything that I needed to live a life on my own was provided by Faith House. When Stephen moved back in with us after graduating the mission, he was completely different than before, in all the best ways. And he told me it's, through the classes that they've had there in the chapel and the parenting classes.
I continue to stay involved with the mission. I show up here 3-4 times a week. I really enjoy watching the aha moments on guys' faces when they find out about Jesus, and I'm thrilled for them because now they know what I know, and I wish somebody would have told me a long time ago.
Through advocates, I was connected with United Way Prosperity Center, and we were able to do their first-time home buyer program, which allowed us to purchase our own townhouse in Brunswick. So we've been there for a year now. 2 kids, 2 dogs. Nice little family.
My kids love me now. I mean, they love me, my daughter loved me then too, but now, they really love me. They ask me to play Barbies and stuff all the time, and I'll do it in a heartbeat. And we have our own house, so.
Just the change that the Faith House has made in my life, because I'm a new person now. God's made me a new person. If I could thank the donors, I would just say thank you for investing in me and for investing in my family, for allowing us to have a place like this to stay, where we were safe and where we were cared for and where we were loved. So when you give to the Frederick Rescue Mission and the Faith House, you change lives now and for eternity.